Hello viewers, well Project Cars is finally released in the UK today. Many of you probably now as you're watching this have already been playing Project Cars and getting your own impressions on the game. It's been almost 4 years since I started covering it, and the first race I played was a Formula B around Imola, because back then there was Imola and Watkins Glen. I enjoyed it from the off. I enjoyed the race cars, the car types and the concept, and looked at the console versions and what they can be and how they could offer different type of racing game to the racing market. There's no doubt that racing gamers on the consoles have been limited in what they've had over the years, whereas there's been far more choice on the PC selection. For me, I was a Formula fan, but an open wheel racing fan, and apart from Codemasters Toka Race Driver series years ago, it just hasn't been supported very well on console. So the first thing I wanted to do, jump in those open wheel cars and go for a spin. Let's have a race now on Formula B as it is today on the final launch build. So here we are pulling away then at Imola on the final launch build. As you can see here, racing on the PS4 version. Now it's something that we've seen developing over the past few months. We've seen it improving all the time. It wasn't there last year, it got better and better, and they've improved it piece by piece, and now you have this game running much smoother. As we talk about this now, there is of course the Xbox version, the PS4 version, the PC version, all very different. Obviously the PC, you can cater the experience to suit what you look for, so you can have a lower frame rate and more detail, or you can reduce the detail and increase your frame rate. That's what I do. My PC version has less detail than the PS4 version, simply because I opt for a better frame rate. Frame rate for me is always key. I always have lower quality graphics. But that's not what the general public look for, and I think what you've seen in the comparison, say for PS4 users with Drive Club, is we're comparing what is essentially a first-party release to a third-party release, a dedicated single format release to a multi-format release, and a game running at 30 frames to a game running at 60 frames. These are completely different sort of markets and opportunities and everything else. So you're never going to get the same graphics out 60 frames as you will out 30, and I think that's a situation where the responses from a lot of gamers are reacted upon by the games developers, and so if they feel, do you know what, we've seen too many people saying we prefer Drive Club, so we just won't run them the graphics at 60 frames, we'll just wait till the next generation, and that might be the easy way forward. But there are developers out there, and I think Polyphony and Turn 10 Studios realised early on that running a racing game at 60 frames meant a lot. As I race quite furiously around here at the moment, I'm really enjoying this run, I might point out, while I'm putting these points across. I wasn't hanging about on this run actually, and I was really trying to get after this guy and look for an overtaking opportunity. Obviously you turn the assists off, the game comes alive. But we're going to come to that. We're going to have another video coming up where I'm going to be doing comparisons between PS4 and Xbox One. But in a nutshell, my opinion at the moment as it stands is I would opt for the PS4 version because it runs smoother, generally has more detail. It does have that blur effect. Honestly, it doesn't bother me very much. I'd prefer it if it wasn't there, but at the same time, I can't say it's had a massive effect on me. Some people might suffer motion sickness and things like that. I've heard about that. Same thing happened on Doom, same thing happened on Wipeout. That's usually to do with a repeating texture. In this case it's repeating things like that. So generally don't sit too close to the screen. You'll notice I wear glasses in fact, and that's because I work on a PC a lot and I'm quite close to the screen when I'm doing all my racing. But for me there are two issues really. There's the frame rate, which is much better on the PS4 than the Xbox version in general, and there is the gameplay, and I find that the PS4 version simply plays better with a controller than the Xbox version, and that's in two areas. One, sensitivity of the triggers, and two, in turning. When you turn on the Xbox version, you'll find that when you turn in, the back end just starts to slide, it just starts to stand out, it's a bit tricky. It's a lot better now than it was on the early version I played. I can tell you now that I think I was racing Road America on that early Xbox video, probably some of the best driving of my life. Concentration was 100% just to keep it on the road. As I get taken out by 3 cars there, which was pretty cheeky, and I'm thinking I'm not having that. No, get on the power really quickly and going up on getting the line into the corner, late braking, a little bit wide, but keeping it together as we go around the bottom of the hill, then up to the chicane. Nicely around there, but I don't have traction in that section, so I'm on the power now quickly down to the Vatsa, and I'm finding this quite tricky braking as well. You know, I hadn't found my braking point. Also, I should note that I have moved my seating position. The last video I showed you how to alter your field of view. I'm going to talk a bit more about that because it's created some debate amongst some of you about how field of view should be used. And I have, my theory is that field of view is slightly different on a game to real life. So, whoa, as we take a slight hit there, but managed to keep going. There was a bit of a Weber moment, nearly. Not quite though, not quite. Committed into the corner. And then quickly in second place, wheels spinning up. I think I took a slight knock there as well. Doesn't matter. Now I've got to close up. Now I'm feeling a feeling of determination now, where I just want to race these guys and catch up. I'm really enjoying. See, this is for me. For some reason, I started playing this track in this car 4 years ago, and yet I'm still enjoying it just as much as I did then. You know, just because I love racing games and just because I love this type of racing, you know, it's great to see how it's, you know, more of you are going to be seeing it and enjoying it. There'll be bugs in this game. There'll be lots of bugs. There's lots of bugs in Ride. There's lots of bugs in Drive Club. There's lots of bugs in lots of games now. Is it right? No. Is it acceptable? No. But do I accept that that's the case as I do an awesome overtaking move there? And the AI as well took avoiding action. Great to see. Again, great AI. I'm not having problems with AI generally. But I have to admit, raced a load of Le Mans cars on Monaco as your circuit, and it was a bit of a bumper car session, has to be said, for the first few laps. They do get quite aggressive on the higher settings. So far I found the AI, it's difficult to say. I mean, the AI will affect different cars differently on different circuits. On some circuits they'll be more aggressive in certain types of car and so on, but certainly in open wheel they've been sensible so far. So we talked about lots of stuff in this video without really talking about anything, and that's all going to come in the next few videos. So we've got a comparison between the PS4 and Xbox version. I'm going to go into that in a lot more detail then, looking at the different aspects. We've got more settings and sort of guides to project cars coming, some online stuff as well. So, and it's been quite a heavy time, a lot of project cars coverage, but I know that a lot of you have enjoyed it, and I've wanted to, you know, give you, while I've had the opportunity to produce these videos, give you something that's insightful, something that's interesting into the world of project cars and what it's all about. So I'm a fan. I've enjoyed playing the game. I'm going to keep playing this for some time, enjoying the many different car classes with it. Will everything be perfect? No. Will some cars handle better than others? Absolutely. But then it's the same with every racing game. I think if you analyse Gran Turismo or Forza, which have 10 times the budget to make the game, I'm sure you'll find issues in there. I mean, look at Forza. You know, we're up to Forza 5 and still no weather, no day or night. You know, this is an ambitious title, and I like to support innovation. You know, I like to support people who say, we've got racing tracks that have never been in a console game before. We've got cars that have never been in a console game before. We fought to put weather and other, you know, and day and night and all this transition in there as well, and marbles on the side of the road and everything else. And as I nearly fly off the final corner, and if you know, that's good. I like innovation in racing games, and it's not going to come without challenges, especially given the millions of costs to make a game and market a game these days and everything else. So it's been interesting for me as a passionate racing fan to see that, and to see the development and how it's improved, and yet it's changed, but yeah, I've gone back and done the same course again. So that's it. Do select one of these other videos. We've got lots more content to come on the channel in the next few days. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, and there'll be more from me very soon.